How's everybody doing tonight? Day 12 of the ROKR submachine gun. Day 5 of exile. 5 days ago I was banned from YouTube because they mistakenly perceived this to be a real gun. So it's the 5th night of the ban, streaming to Rumble. At some point I'll just stop mentioning that. It'll just be a Rumble stream and that's all there is to it. So yeah, 5 nights. That's just a coincidence. I know there's a big movie opening tonight, 5 Nights at Freddy's. And this is my 5th night on Rumble. Coincidence means nothing. Or does it? No. It means nothing. So it looks like this gun is done. Except for the fact that there's like a circle, what's it called? A drum that goes there. Probably this is like gonna wrap around the drum, right? Doesn't that look like that? I don't know. I think we have some other sort of drum-like pieces here. Might even say that collection version, collection. This is art. This is art. Okay, this is art, right? It's not a weapon. It's art. Submachine gun, bullet. I don't know. Board 3 of 12. We actually have a lot of pages left in the instructions. So when we look at this gun, it looks done, but when we look at the instructions, we have a ton of instructions to go. Oh, I started the stream a little early tonight. It's Saturday. No, it's Friday. Anyway, any Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, you know, I might start the stream at a different time than usual. Weekend rules. Oh, all right. Let's get the instructions up there. So we're up to 279 pieces of a 275 piece puzzle. That's because I count screws, and the instructions do not. Apparently ROKR doesn't. So here's instruction 7, segment 7. I lost it. Well, we can count backwards, see how many pages we have left after page 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then there's page 7. So let's get started on page 7. There's a lot of pieces going on there. We're starting a new section. We got 2 A20s, 4 F7s, an F3, 4 A19s. Okay, hold on. 2 F3s, 4 F7s, 4 A19s. And 2 A20s. So 2, 4, 8, 12. Is that right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, it's 12 pieces. And then we're going to add 2 A10s to the outside. So let's add all these 14 pieces to the scoreboard now. So that's going to bring us from 79 to 93. So we're up to 293 pieces. All right. Now we got to find these pieces. I mean, it's nice to count them. Now we got to find them. I feel like, yeah, this A20, I think these got popped out. Let's look among the pieces that got popped out. There's probably going to be some more pieces there, but I guess for now, I only saw one A20. There's definitely a lot of pieces floating around. Here's one of those A10s that we mentioned. What's here? A19. We said 4 A19s, so there they are. So here we go. We got 6 of our 14 pieces already. All right, let's see what else is on the scrap heap. So we need F7. This is an F board, by the way, but it doesn't have F7. Need A10. Is this a spare parts board? A3? Do we need A3s? No. I don't know why I thought that. Yeah, we don't need anything here. In fact, I think we use this. I think this is a spare. I think that some of these pieces are spares. F11, F3. I don't know why I'm so convinced that we're going to... Yeah, there we go, F7. I was like convinced for some reason that some of the spare parts that I was looking through the spare parts pile, and I somehow was convinced that it's going to have the pieces that we're looking for. Like, what even is this piece? The writing is so tiny. Does that say B4? Those are B3s and B4s. Yeah, we don't need either of those right now. So we got 4 F7s, 4 A19s, an A20, and an A10. So 4, 8, 10. So we only need 4 more pieces. We need another A10, another A20, and what is it, 2 F3s? No, let's look again. See? F3 right there. I picked this, I kept picking this up and putting it down. I somehow knew there was something there, but I overlooked it. So F3, that's one of the pieces we need. But I picked it up and put it down twice. Third time's a charm, I guess. All right, now we just need the A10, another A10, and another A20. Now those pieces fell out, which means the doubles might have fallen out as well. Yep, there's another A10. Now all we need is another A20. I don't see it on the scrap heap. So all these pieces, except for these 2 F3s, came from the scrap heap. All these pieces were on the scrap pile. But we still need another A10. So A20, actually. We needed an A20. We got the 2 A10s. So here's the last A20. It has an arrow on it. So we have to, make sure that arrow's facing the right direction when we build it. All right, do we have all our pieces? 1, 2, 6, 10, 12, 14. Yeah, that's how many pieces we credited ourselves with. Now let's start building it. So, taking a look at the instructions, you can see the arrow there. It points up. All right. Let's keep that in mind. All right. So we got the arrow pointing up. Now, the first thing we do, I think, is we put 2 A19s there. So let's grab some A19s and get them on there. I'm not going to try to finish it tonight. I think probably tomorrow will be when we finish it. Is that correct? I think not. I think they want a snugger fit. All right, so if I've got this correct, when you put it in, you still can read the A19. So we're putting it in, we're putting like the fat section in, and you'll still be able to read the A19. It's like parallel to the board. Okay. So we're going to need those A19s here as well, but let's stick with one side. So sticking with one side, we get 2 F7s and then an F3. So the F3 is sitting out here, so let's grab the F3 first. So F3 has a funny shape as well. And I think the way it's going to go, you see that bump in the middle? Does that go here? I think it does. That seems like a snug fit, so I think that's right. The other option would be to spin it around and stick that in, but I think that would be wrong. Yeah, we've got the circle here. You can't really see it in the instructions, but you can see this hook goes here, so I think that's right. And then above that is going to be 2 F7s. So here's 4 F7s. It's a lot of tricky pieces in this little section. What is this? What are we building here? Because I thought all we had left was the drum, and this don't look like no drum. All right, let's see here. F7, it's a funny little shape, but the hump goes on the back, same as this piece. The hook goes on the front, same as this F3 piece. So we're putting in the F7s, very similar to how the F3 went in. It's a shorter piece, so it matches at the front, but not at the back. I just knocked the F3 out. Or was that the F7? No, that was the F3. Not sure why that came out, but it's back in now. All right, and here's the other F7. Just clip that on there. All right, so we've added 5 pieces to this A20. So that's 6 pieces of the 14, and the other side is also going to get that. So what's the missing piece? I don't think there is any missing piece. Oh, right, the A10. Okay, I don't know why they tell you the A10 like on the second section, but I think we can put it on now. In fact, it's very obvious how this goes on. It's like a full house. We got 3 large pegs, 2 small pegs, and that exactly matches what's going on here, the 3 and the 2. So I think we can just put this on. We don't have to wait for the second panel because we're going to do one side and then the other side. It's a little tricky. Trying to make 3 connections at once without knocking anything out. Really trying to make 5 connections at once. 3 up front, 2 in the back. Just thinking about that Louisiana shocker. But that's a little bit different. It's not going in. I don't want to break anything. Wow. Louisiana shocker is a hand. It's a way of holding your hand. And it's not 3 in the front, 2 in the back, but we'll think of it that way. All right, so here's what the A20 looks like. I'm just sort of scanning the board. If you notice here on the instruction, it says pay attention to the arrow. I'm kind of paying attention to everything here. And gosh darn it, I think it looks good. I think let's go on to the next one. So the next one, it's going to go kind of like, all right, so yeah, the arrow, I guess we're just doing the same, but now the A20 reads like upside down. I'm not really sure why that is. But anyway, we're going to build on the outside. So let's grab our A19s again. That's now scrap wood. And hopefully I've got 2 A19s in my hand. I do. All right, so building this time on the non-inked side. Wait a minute. Did I screw this up? No, that's good. We got the double taper at the bottom, the arrow pointing up, and then the build out here. And then on the other side, it's going to be the reverse. We're going to have the arrow in the back, double taper on the bottom, arrow going up, and we're going to build on the outside. So be careful. A little bit of a tricky section. I'm still getting the A19s in. All right. The F3 goes on the bottom. I have no idea what part of the build this is. It looks kind of like, doesn't really look like anything yet. I guess it's going to look like something. More scrap wood. Popped 2 F7s out of that. And they're going to follow suit here. We're going to basically make a mirror image of this piece. Second F7 goes right below it. And then the F10 goes on the outside. A 3 and 2 system again. I'm sort of holding it backwards right now because it's just more comfortable that way. But when I have them both built and completed, I'll show you how they reference to each other. Ooh, I sounded like I was breaking a piece there. I gotta be careful. Okay, I got the back 3 on. Let's see if we can get the front 2 without breaking anything. Let's see here. Excuse me. All right, 1 on, 2 on. Good. All right. Now I told you we're going to talk about how they're mirror images. So look at that. The claw's in the middle, taper's on the bottom, arrow's pointing up. You can't see this arrow unless you spin it around. But there you go. They're mirror images of each other. I don't know why we built them. I guess we're going to find out in a minute. All right. What the heck are we doing here? A24 is going to carry both of those pieces. Let's take a big look here. So A24 is going to go on the bottom. And then there's something going on the top that's going to like attach all this stuff together. Is that what it's going to do? Or are these 2 boards going to attach? I would like to see what this looks like. Yeah, you can see it down here. Okay, I don't know. Again, I don't know what part this is, but let's build away. So 3 A14s, A26, 2 G2s, F11, and A24. Wax the edges carefully. They want all those little tabs that get attached to the A26. They want them all waxed. And they want the edges of the A26 waxed. I don't know if this is going to be a moving part. I think probably it is. Maybe it's, see this like space in the middle here? Maybe the thing we're going to build is going to like move in and out there, but then why not wax those? I think we do wax those. You see how it shows red? Yeah. They didn't say to wax them, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to wax them. Looks like it's going to be useful to wax these pieces. I could be wrong, and then I'd be making a mistake. All right. Anyway, the pieces. 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. 8 pieces. So we're breaking the 3-century mark. We just moved from 293 to 301. That's nice, right? All right, so here's that A24 piece, which is going to connect these other pieces. And then we need a bunch of other A pieces, like the 3 A14s that are here, the A26 that's here, and then we're going to move on to the G and F boards. So A26, 3 A14s. Oh man, this thing is falling apart. Okay. There's the 3 F14s. I mean, everything else, like, just basically fell away. It's all scrapped now. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I guess we need 3 more pieces, 2 G2s and an F11. All right. Let's check the scrap heap again. B16. What is this down here? Those are B2s and B3s. Yeah, we don't need that. Okay, I guess we're checking the G board and the F board for the pieces we need. This is the H board. I see the G board. Here it is. We need 2 G2s. There's a lot of G3s. G5, G8. There are no... Oh, there's the G2s. There's the 2 G2s. Okay. 2 G2s right there. Okay. All that's left is the F11. F11. Right there. Looks like a piece from Space Invaders or something like that. Some old school like Atari game type of pixelated piece. All right, now these little pieces, they want them all waxed up, except for the F11. Space Invader piece, for whatever reason, doesn't get waxed. Wax the edges, wax the other side. I'm just going to wax everything. I think that's the safe way to handle that. All right, waxing these up. G2, A14. Okay, now the A26 also gets waxed on the edges. So if we hold it this way, the taper, the 3 large sections in the back, the 3 smaller sections in the taper in the front, then the front just gets 3 A14s. Slide those right in, all the way in. Even they'll be even with the A26 at the end. So it's not even now, but now it is. So 3 even pieces there. Okay, got those on. What next? In the back, the F11 goes in the middle. Where is the F11? There it is. And then the 2 G2s go on the top and bottom. So they're all symmetric pieces, I believe. So we're going to put the F11 in the middle, a G2 on top, and a G2 on bottom. They kind of look like teeth, those G2s, which is a little weird. But it is what it is. Push that on. Push this one on. Now, somehow this is all going to come together. I don't know how, but it's going to happen. All right, let's see if we can figure it out. I guess let's first put one A20 into the A24. It's going to have 2 connectors, and the claw is going to the front. I'm calling this the front. And this with the 4 pins kind of looks like an M, in my opinion. All right, so let's put this on. Not going in. Oh, probably because the first piece was at the middle section didn't have the tapered piece coming through. All right, so that's in. Now we need to get this middle piece in. So we're going to point the A14s to the front, and the A26, I think, is going to go in that slot there. So I think this piece is going to move. That's why they had us waxing it. So now that we know that, let's wax these faces. Let's wax these pieces on the inside. Why not, right? Okay. So we put this in here. I guess I'll push it to the front, but it's clearly going to have movement. And then let's claw it in there. And clip it to the bottom. Is it going in there? Is the middle in the middle? I think it is. I think we're good. Yeah, I don't know what that piece is, but it moves. Whoa, it moves maybe too much. It's like supposed to stay on track, right? Probably once these are pinned, there's 3 sets of pins, 6 total pins. Once it's pinned in, this probably won't move anywhere it's not supposed to. But it definitely moves back and forth in here. All right, put that down. Let's see what's up next. In the instructions. I think we got to go to the next page. All right, so looks like we're installing a spring. So P1 and A4 and two B31s. I'm not even sure what those B31s' purpose is, but you can see them there. A couple of B31s. So first they want us to do the A4, then the P1, and then flip it over and do two B31s. So that's 4 pieces. That brings us to 305 pieces. So A4, that's the first piece that they actually want us to install. And we've got an A4 right here. Let's grab all the pieces. The B31s are, I mean, these might be the smallest pieces in the build. There's the B31s. There's not much to them, really. And we need 2 of those. And then we need a P1, which is a big spring. And I was wondering for a while if that spring was an extra. Like, I don't know, I thought maybe they gave us, for a while I was thinking maybe they gave us an extra. But it looks like we are going to use that spring for something. Alright, let's try to not mess this up. Alright, so it looks like they want us to slide that to the front. And then put the A4 in the back. I'm going to do it the same direction they do it. I don't know if it matters. It goes through that back little notch there. Both sides. It might be tricky to get this in, actually. Do I need to sand this piece? It, like, doesn't fit. It's a really tight squeeze in there. Especially as you go through the second one. Okay. I think it's in. It was tight squeeze, though, I'll tell you. Alright, now for the spring. Alright, here's our piece. I got it all the way at the front. I'm going to shove that spring in there. Wow, it like wants to push this piece out the front. It's in there though. You can see the spring. It's in there. All right, and then flip it over and put B31s there. Oh, they probably keep it from like, or do they attach these 2 pieces? I'm not sure. They might. Are they long enough to make that? Let's see. Let's find out. I don't think they are. Okay. It sort of reaches. I don't know what to say. I really think it doesn't reach, but... Oh, you're supposed to push it all the way in? Like completely in? Let's try that. I don't think it's hitting the target. It's not even clear to me if it's supposed to go and make a connection to the piece above it. I guess it is. There's a hole there. But, all right, let me take this off camera. Try to get a closer look at it. All right, I'm looking at it off camera. And in my opinion, this thing is never going to reach. I'm trying, though. Yeah. This is not happening. Well, I think that some people will be able to do it. I'm going to give it a few more moments. Yeah, okay. I'm using the screwdriver to try to kind of line it up. And that might help. I'm not sure. That worked. It's in. All right, I guess if I did one side, I could do the other. So use this little screwdriver to line it up. And once you have it lined up, push it in. All right, line it up. Nope. One more try. If I spend all this time getting this in and then it just falls right out, then I'm going to call this a flawed design moment. I got one side in, which was the worst thing because now it makes me think I should be able to get the other side in. And the other side is where I gave up first and decided this is never going to happen. I might be just breaking this thing trying to force this. All right, it's on. Well, nope, it's not. I thought it was. You know what? I think it just falls right back out. It's like even if you get it lined up and even if you push it through, it just falls right back out. I might have split the piece at this point. Split the wood, in which case it's never going to stay in unless I add glue. All right. I push it in. All right, it's on. That was like, wow. That was annoying. They're in right now. They're holding on. If they're going to stay like that or if they're going to fall out, I can't say. But for the moment, they're in. All right, now I want us to wax up everything on the top here. If it's exposed wood on the top, they want it waxed. Which is interesting. It means this whole thing is going to move. Maybe this thing is going to go on like this. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, we're going to build something new. We don't. That will remain a mystery a little bit longer. Because we're moving on to. It looks like we're building the drum right now. Look at the mess of this table. All this like wax everywhere. Anyway, we're moving on. A27, H9, and 2 I2s. I think we're starting to build the drum. Pay attention to the arrow direction. Okay. All right. Pay attention to the arrow direction. Okay. So the 2 I2s, the I board is the walnut board. Let's grab a couple of I2s. There they are, right there. I2. I know you can't read it, but, oh, wrong camera. There we go. I2. They kind of look like 12s, but they're I's. All right, so the I's have it. I2. Second I2, and then we're going to add A27 and H9. That's 4 pieces. That brings us to 309. How are we like soaring right past that 275? It's like no turning back. That's the G board. We don't need that. We need the H board because we need an H9. There's a few H9s. We're probably going to need them every time we do a segment of this drum, whatever you want to call it. All right, yeah, there are two A27s left. That's the only things left on this A board. And their arrows, am I reading this right? Are those arrows going in opposite directions? I don't even know what to make of that. I mean, how can they be the same piece if the arrows are going in opposite directions? I don't know what that means. Like, I don't know. Maybe they're really the same direction. They're both coming out from the center. I don't know. I got to think about that one. But anyway, I know how the arrow is supposed to go in relation to these eyes. All right, so we got the flat end at the back. The I-27 goes at the front on the back pin with the arrow pointing out like centrifugally, if that makes sense, out from the center, radially. Is that the word? I'm not sure of the word. Okay, I'm putting on these two I2s. They go into the two slots on the I-27, A27, sorry. The inside tab. Now, we got these, looks like 2 bars there. And the H9 is going to go on to those 2 bars. So we're giving this thing a lot of structure. Whatever it is, it's going to be pretty strong. Which makes sense. You're going to create a circle made out of this flimsy, 1/8 of inch wood, then you're probably going to want to reinforce it a few different ways. All right, the H9 is on. All right, what have we built? I can't tell you yet because I don't know. Part of the drum, I guess. All right. Now, times 2. Basically want us to do that one more time. I knew that was coming, so that's going to bring us to 313 pieces. I knew that was coming because when I was picking out the pieces, they were all doubles. Like here's the other A27. So now this A board is finite. There's nothing left. There might be some A's on the scrap pile, but not in the board. And then the H board, we had a lot of H9s. And then I didn't notice more I2s on the I board, but I guess they were there. Yep, there's more I2s, all right. I can't make out where they are. All right, yeah, this is an I2. I2, okay. These 2 are I2s. Wow. I just like snapped the whole board. Trying to get that I2 out. All right, so we just did one of these, so we should be able to remember how to do it, right? All right. A27 radial out, inner peg. All right. Same thing for the second board, inner peg, radial out. Yep. And then there should be 2 pegs in the middle, and that's where the H9 goes. I broke it. I broke the second piece. I thought I was going to like do it so fast. I thought I had learned and I was smart and I was going to do it fast, and I just broke the piece. You can see the broken piece lying on the ground there. All right, well, luckily we have some redundancy here. The H9 is also going to keep this together. As long as I don't also break that. You probably heard that piece snap. I certainly heard it. All right. All right. There we go. We got 2 little stupid 1/8 of a circle. Now, what do you think the next instruction is? Is to build more 1/8 of a circle. Now we need just an H9 and 2 I1s. So that's 3 pieces, brings us to 316. And you guessed it, that's a times 2. 3 more pieces, 319. We are well past the 275 count. We're like 44 pieces past it. Anyway, so we need 4 I1s. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. I1 times 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did we finish the I board? I'm not sure. We might have. I'm not going to throw it out, but I'm going to take it off the table. Wait, what is this? This is a mess. Oh, that's scrap. Okay. Alright, now we need 2 H9s, and we have 2 H9s. There we go. So, I don't think you can mess this up. The only way you can mess this up is if you don't line up the 2 I1s. Like if the 2 I1s are going in different directions, that's the only way you can mess it up, I believe. As long as you got them both going the same direction, you should be good. Until you attempt to place it somewhere else. Then if you place it wrong, then you can mess up. But in terms of putting on the H9, it's pretty tough to mess up. Just keep the 2 I1 pieces going the same direction. And slip the H9 on. Alright. We did it. But we've just got a bunch of like scrap nothing. Look at all this crap. It's like seesaws or something. Like little nothingless, stupid little seesaws. That's all we got going on here. Arches. I don't know. Some kind of modern art structure. Alright, what's next? Ooh. We're going to make it all make sense. And there's only one piece needed to do that. The D1 piece. The D1 piece is going to make it all make sense. Alright, so let's do that. So those two like flat pieces, they're like long parts, are going to go together at the back. I'm just kind of setting it up. And then the two like double protected pieces, the two flat ends, or the two pieces with the A27 arrows, they're going to go at the front. Arrows going out, obviously. Doesn't look like much yet, but piece 320 in the piece counter, which is the D1 piece. And I want to tell you something about this D1 piece. First of all, this is the C1 piece, so don't use this piece. Now, here's the D1 piece. Okay. There's some writing on it. The only thing you need to remember about this writing is that you don't want to see it when you attach the pieces. Face the writing down when you attach those pieces. Ah, we finished another board. Kind of an easy board to finish. Now, it has to be lined up correctly. There's one pin there's one pin at this end. There's like 5 of them at this end. So the one with the one pin, that's where the simpler, the ones connected by 1H9, they go at the back, and this is the connector. All right, one is on. We've started building the drum. We've been talking about it for a few days, and now we're finally building it. there's space open. Is there going to be something that feeds out of there? I don't know. I'm just guessing. All right. Same thing for these other pieces. They go in that double section. Where there's the double slit, that's where they go. The inner of the two slits. All right. And the other piece goes on the same way. I was putting it in the wrong place for a second. It goes here. All right, so they kind of touch on the sides, but not at the ends. It doesn't look like perfect at the moment, but I guess we're going to put the C1 at this end, and then it's going to look better. I don't know. There's probably a bunch of stuff in the middle first. We're not just going to slap the C1. Oh, yeah, one of the things in the middle is this thing that we spent the night building, which is good because we already built it. So they want this waxed up, this whole underside waxed. And then it's going to slip in from this side, so 6 connectors. The busy end goes here. The not so busy end goes back there. It looks like, I don't see tight connectors for these. I do for these and these. Anyway, let's just line this up and see what happens. All right, so the busy end goes with this sort of like those two 827 pieces. The busy end goes there. Other end goes other end. Other end of this goes to the other end of that. I just like easier to define it by this end. I'm hesitant to stick it in because I'm not sure where it connects. It indicates that it only connects in the middle, but that can't be true. It has to connect other places. Like, does it connect at the front here? Wow, what was that sound? That didn't sound good. Sounded like a piece breaking. Is this something to do with that spring? I feel like I want to take it out and inspect it. Okay. It's definitely offline up front here. Do you remember there's a spring? I wonder if we knock that spring out of whack. Because if we did, that's going to be a problem. It looks good. All right, let's see if we can push this in. Okay. So there's the spring. There's the piece up front. I'm going to push it just as a kind of test. I hope I don't break it. It seems like it's working. Oh, that's working beautifully. That's working beautifully. I don't know what it's supposed to do, but it's doing it good. I think maybe we're going to load those simulated casings in here, and they're going to pop out when the gun is fired. Are we ready to put the C1 on? I'm not sure. Let's see. Let's see what's next. It looks like, yeah. We're moving on to the next page. Are we still on segment 7? I kind of was... yeah, I guess it's a big segment. All right, so... B28. That's the next thing we do. Just this is what we did previously. So this is what we do next. B28, we just wrap it around the whole thing. So that's one piece, 321. I believe this is the B28 piece here. It's like a long... No, that's B28. Yeah, that's what we're looking for, B28. Be careful, that you don't break this piece. It's got a lot of connectors and it's got a lot of bends and it's a thin piece of wood. And if you're not careful, it can be broken just trying to get it out of this, you know, the piece of wood that it comes in. Some pieces fall out with hardly any doing. Other pieces you have to be very careful. Wait a second. Are there supposed to be 2 of these, or did I just break it in half? Well, I guess there's 2 of them. So we're up to piece 322. There's 2 B28s. I didn't know that. Now I do. I thought it was one big piece that you wrap around. There's little circles at one end. So that's the circles go at the bottom. The bottom, by bottom I mean closest to the D1 piece. I think I broke this second B28. It didn't come out clean. Yeah, I think it's broken. I mean, I think it's still hanging together by a thread, and I still can install it, but I definitely broke it. So, there's the hole. There's 2 things to see here. The hole at the bottom, which is on both sides, and one side is skinny and one side is fat. So the fat side is going to go to this opening and the skinny side is going to go to the back. And in both cases, that hole is going to go to the bottom. So these 2 skinny pieces, they're actually going to share a connector in the back and kind of form a regular size piece. Boy, it's going to be really tricky to get the C1 on top because it's going to have to go into all of these B28 pieces that we're putting on right now. All of these tabs. I mean, they're like easily breakable pieces. And we're going to have to connect them from the top. So that's going to be tricky. But we'll get it done. No problem. It's not going in. I'm going to line it up and try again. Come on, got it. All right. So it's half of it's on. I got half on. Let's get the other half on. Holes at the bottom, skinny pieces joining in one slot at the back. 2 tabs, 2 skinny tabs into one slot. Got it. Come on. Got it. Last one. Wasn't the last one the toughest on the other side? With that knowledge, let's make it go easier this time. I'm not sure I can. Got it. Wow. Felt like it wasn't going to go, and then it went. That drum is looking nice. C1. C1. We're going to add the C1. 323. Here we go. It's going to look like a drum. It's not going to be easy, though, to do it. But we'll get it done. Collection version collection. This is art submachine gun bullet. I don't know. That's what it says there. Okay, how does this go on? Okay. This end with the single tab goes onto these 2 skinny ones. And then everything else, just, you know, whatever it lines up with, that's where it goes. I'm going to get those two skinny ones in first. Or maybe we're going to get everything in at once. I don't know. Whatever kind of happens, happens. I don't want to break these pieces. Come on. Just one of them go in. All right, I got one. Okay. No, this one. Wow. It's got to go in. I can't force it or it's going to break something. I'm just going to try to get as many of them like started as possible. And then after they're all started, then I should be able to finish them all, right? Well, that's how it works, I think. Get them all started, then finish them all. It's looking good. Yep. It's looking very good. Now it's stuck. I won't move. Okay. There we go. I think we got it. We got it. This is done. We put C1 on. Let's find out. I think we're going to finish this tomorrow. I'm John Rapp. This is Just Rest Your Eyes. Good night and see you tomorrow.